This is rather an abridged video that I'm actually putting less restrictions on, so that way more people can see it. I tell you this right now as a warning: if you're somebody who doesn't give a darn about this whole situation, just see your way out, please. You never had to jump in. You don't have to say anything. But then, if you say something about my video and you're being downright miserable, you gotta jab me and say something derogatory, then that's on you. I'm gonna laugh at you because you say you don't care, but you clearly do. And this is what these people did. They all jumped in. They said, "Oh, I don't care about Sonic 93 elsewhere in their mind," but then they wanted us to care for them, to weaponize us, to being their sword and shield against her. Then they let minors like Kiryu I and her little brother get involved. Didn't stop her. Didn't stop any minors that they influenced. Didn't stop any artists that they influenced. That's irresponsibility right there. Every single one of you accusers, you were irresponsible and hid behind us, hid behind minors and autists. What do you have to say for yourself? I'm going to read this and I'm going to showcase some things. Kiryu was a minor attacking Sonic 93 in her own video for Dumbsville, who condoned the call out. The issue is that Kiryu accused Sonic 93 of making a death threat and cited Just a Robot as the one having brought it up. I do not know whether or not Jar actually said such, but CC members throwing each other under the bus, while pretty common, is still an issue, especially when you have Dunsville, an adult, hiding behind minors, including Kiryu. Even her younger brother, Aki, was dragged into the Sonic 93 situation by adults like Dunsville. No matter how much you want to believe Dunsville is innocent, you have to put aside your emotions and actually take into account of what actually happened. You would tell me the same thing. If Sonic 93 was actually a criminal and actually outed someone, if she had actually killed someone and you came to me to tell me that, you will want me to put my emotions aside and say, hey, look, Munchkin adversary, she's done these things. She could do it to you. I know you care about Sonic 93, but you have to snap out of it because all you're doing is enabling her. If that was the situation, you would say something like that to me. But the thing is, Sonic 93 was never dangerous. She's not a murderer. She's none of all the accusations that they said. So why is it okay for them to get away with it? They're not even getting away with it. They're actually scared and hiding from themselves. So yeah. Also, take into account that I said I do not know whether or not Jar actually said such. And in regards to the death threat that Kiryu accused Sonic 93 of making, I said this because I don't want to falsely accuse Jar of something that I don't even have knowledge of, especially. You cannot prove the accusers were innocent and that Sonic 93 was guilty of the accusations that were never proven, especially when the accusers themselves used kids to attack Sonic 93, condoned or orchestrated threats, profiteered off of her, Dunsville, harassed her, attacked her religion. You know the whole thing with people saying, she's Muslim! Like that has to do with the accusations. Put her in danger, etc. Bagaduce, Jar, and Nico Ram are especially guilty. So if you got to come up with more stupid stuff to say to me, I'm just going to be like, Miles, your ignorance and claims are quite invigorating, actually. Because they are. Enlighten me to a whole bunch of stuff that I shouldn't have to hear, but is music to my ears. So we come down here. I'm going to put this in a timestamp. I'm going to let you know which part it has stuff in it that you have to brace yourself for. The thing about this, when you see this number especially, what do you think? I don't want to do the thinking for you. Because the thing is, having multiple having multiple subscribers doesn't mean you're telling the truth. It just means I'm with stupid. When it comes to people like Dunsville and Bagaduce, it's a cult thing. If a cult has a bunch of numbers and it's an evil cult, it's because people are hearing and seeing what they want, not because they're benefiting from something good. You can benefit from something in a very bad way and be selfish about it, and then have a larger group attack the same person. It doesn't matter. Even Amy-chan was in on it, and so was Zombie Spartan, who's not shown right here because of Bagadoose's artwork, which is not cool at all because Dumbsville did this. Dumbsville did this right here in the drawing. Bagadoose, we go to you. Since you drew Dumbsville firing her head off, Sonic93's head off, what do you have to say? Dumbsville, what do you have to say? The one big thing that the accusers did not bother doing is calling each other out. They did not draw a line with their actions. They enabled, they bullied, they hurt Sonic93, they slandered her, they put her and her family in danger. They put each other in danger. They put kids in danger. And those kids and autists that they even affected, they would have to live the rest of their lives knowing that they hurt somebody, that never was an issue, especially. Let's say, even because of this suicidal message, or rather, this suicide threat right here on Sonic93, yeah, Bagadoose drew it. You visually told her to kill herself. And then you bragging about your self-insert wearing her panties in the video. And you waving your gun practically at her. I get these are self-inserts, but these still represent them. Meaning this is still a threat from Bagadoose. You sitting there drooling over her breast area, literally in your video, doing a close-up, and you felt the need to draw her getting on with Silver while you watch because you're a pervert. You were obsessed with Sonic93 and you still are. That's why you got the video still up there, I bet. And then Dumbsville actually condoning this. And I'm going to read this, and I'm going to go into the closing part. Dumbsville, you said nice, as I read in my other videos. And Bagadoose, you deleted your message because you were being a coward. You didn't want people to see something. Dumbsville said, no problem, man. At this point, I've come to the point where I accepted that not all your heroes are heroes, LOL. It's part of growing up, in my opinion, and I'm kind of glad I learned the way I did. In what way did you learn, Dumbsville? I have something to ask you and Bagadoose, Nico Royam, GhostDXC, Channel Evan, Alan Ravenix, Alden Gajenka. Did I say GhostDXC already? Boone Cannon, Miss Amused Nerd, Rilo Poppy, how so many, Watermelon the Cat, Princess Anastasia 434, all these names, so many of them, too many. I have to ask you, why should children have to suffer for what you have done to one Silver fangirl? Why? Why should anyone have to suffer over your own stupidity? Why should they have to get hurt for you? Why should Sonic93 have to get hurt for any of us? If she had committed suicide over this, what would you have said to her family? Especially you, Dumbsville. What would you have said? Since she's your hero. Or was your hero. What would you have said, Nico? Bagadoose? And if there was a kid who committed suicide, all because they couldn't take much more of the Sonic93 situation, would you have pointed your fingers at her? Or would you have taken responsibility for what you've done to your viewers? You played them with things they have to live with for the rest of their lives. If they had outed them, or anybody, the Sonic93 fans, if anyone had outed anyone out, that doesn't sound right, outed anyone out, but whatever, you know what I mean, then they would have to carry those burdens. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the thing about it too, if I was a groomed minor, and someone told me that Sonic93 was the enemy, and I actually took liberty to do what Bagadoose showed in this video, and I managed to out her, my life would have been ruined. What would you have done, Dumbsville, if someone had carried a gun and going at Sonic93 and they managed to do the deed, how would you have felt? Bag of douche. Any of you. And if someone had done it to Dumbsville in response, how would any of you feel? Would you care? This is what I'm saying to you. You cause this kind of splash damage. Someone's angry. They pull a Jason Todd on you because you hurt somebody and you set them up. What do you say? And I tell you this too. If I was a content creator who allowed people to attack anybody and someone got hurt or murdered over this, if it was Sonic93, if it was even Bag of Douche or anyone, and I'm like showing threats in my videos and stuff, and I'm letting them attack anybody, I would not be able to live with myself. I would be depressed. I would be broken. If this was Dumbsville or Bag of Douche themselves in place of Sonic93, I would take all the responsibility in the whole world for those kids who went after them. It would be the same if they went after Sonic93 because they didn't ask for it. You programmed that stuff into them. You, 100 plus more people who went after her, programmed all this stuff into minors to attack her. Why should they have to suffer for you? Why should Sonic93 have to suffer for any of us? All because you were so butthurt and you wanted all the attention in the world and you wanted to be the main characters. Why? And Bag of Douche especially, you're not brave. Amy-chan, you're not brave. You're a bunch of fakes. And it pisses me off because you have all that potential to save people, but instead you used your abilities to screw with people and to hurt Sonic93. How dare you?